no matter how educated or illiterate that your husband is, he sees himself as what? As the head. That ideology of headship or royalty or of dominion is already running in his head. Every time you open up your mouth to talk to a man, he pulls out this scale of honor or respect and measures it and uses what you say, how you say it, how you dress, what you do. He measures it on the basis of how much honor that brings to him. Until a man feels truly honored, until a man feels truly honored, I repeat, until a man feels truly honored, he can never be the very best he can be. He can never. And if that man is not truly honored at home, you can always expect him to misbehave anyhow. I said you can always expect him to do what? So, marriage is seen as a union that affects not just the couple, but the families and communities. Take for example, if a man marries the kind of wife who talks down on him, who looks down on him, who humiliates him, who insults him, who offends him, who makes him look small. Let me tell you something. One of the things you are going to see is that this low self-esteem will begin to set into this man's life. And once the man begins to see himself in the eyes that the wife is projecting him, it will affect not only the wife, but the children and everybody around the husband, including his performance outside. Let us assume that this man is a public figure. Or let me use the word, let us assume that this man is a pastor. And the wife does not respect him. Tendency is that the children will not also respect him, yes or no? I'm not hearing you, yes or no? Now, if the wife does not respect him, and the children in the home too does not respect him, don't you also think that it will affect the way he behaves outside? It will affect the way he dresses. It will affect the way he behaves outside. And because he is not also measuring up outside, people outside that are supposed to also respect him will now begin to do what? Disrespect him because he is not also measuring up. You know that there are men that no matter what they do, the wife still feels that he does not measure up. And I want to tell you this. There are some men that their wives keep comparing them with other men. Oh, your mates are doing this. Oh, your mates are doing that. Oh, your mates are doing this. Listen to me. There is nobody on the face of the earth who wants to be compared to or with another person. And sometimes I ask, if you're a lady married to a man and you are comparing your husband with others, are you also comparing yourself with your mates? Are you also comparing your... Okay, let us assume that you believe that your husband doesn't have a lot of money, so he doesn't give you a lot of money. He doesn't build a house, so he doesn't buy a car, so he doesn't have a lot of money. Have you also forgotten that there are women who are your mates or women who are also building houses. In fact, I have heard a woman told us how she gave the husband some money to buy, is it cement or blocks or sand for them to build a house. The man squandered the money. And yet they are still married. The man ate up the money for cement. Who will live in this house? And you that is comparing your husband with another person, you have not bought one bag of cement before. But there is a woman who gave the husband money to do what? In fact, I've heard a story of a woman who bought land and was making plans to build a house. The husband sold the land. For less than that land was bought. And I'm telling myself, why would he not sell the land for less after the money was not his own? I just wish that most of our women are here. The worst thing you can do to your husband is to compare him with. I'm not hearing you. Because you too, if they want to compare you with other women, you won't like it. If you are comparing your husband, I'm not saying even if your husband is irresponsible, permit me to use that word. Even if your husband is what? Irresponsible. There is need for you to sit down with him and do what? And talk. And try to guide him. And try to speak well of him. Do you know that there are women who run down their husbands even in public? How many of you remember the story I told you that I didn't know that throughout my secondary school days, those days we used to pay for a bit 13 naira before we now pay 26. I remember my last school fees was 26 naira. It was my mother who used to pay that 26 naira. Lift up your eyes and look at me, women. But I didn't know for once that my mother was the one who used to pay that money. I know you want to ask me, why did you not know? Let me tell you why I couldn't know. Because there was never a time that my mother gave me that money to go and pay. My mother never gave me that money. It was after my mother died. In fact, it was the day my mother died that my father used his mouth to tell me. How was the money paid without me knowing? My mother would give the money to my father. So only two of them knew when the money. I'm not hearing you. How many of you know that if it is today, the mother will give the money to the child? I said, take, go and pay. Don't mind this, your useless father. And then she will tell the child, that money I'm giving you, if you throw it away, only you and your God know where, because this your father that is in this house has not contributed any kobo. Did you hear what I told you? And listen, you cannot project a man in that bad light and expect him to still be the very best. Let me say this, men and brethren. Even if you are a woman in this church, or you are under the sound of my voice, and God gives you more money than your husband, understand this. I keep saying this, that in every family, there is a channel through which God blesses the family. For some families, he blesses through the man. And for others, he blesses through the woman. I just wish it is possible that all families will be blessed through only men. Because I know there will always be peace. Because one of the things experience has shown me is that it is very difficult for women to part with their money. And I usually ask myself, sometimes I sit back and ask myself, if a woman is spending the amount of money that I spend, Praise the Lord. You remember the day I told us in this church that your wife can take out the very last kobo from your purse. She's the one that took the very last money. 2 hours after, she has another need. She come back to you, yes or no? And sometimes I wonder, in her mind, is she thinking that angels bring money into that purse? That's we just told her she needed 5,000. She goes to the purse and discovers it is only 5,000 that she will get mine, come out the whole. And then 2 hours after, they come back and they're asking you that gas has finished. And you begin to wonder what the hell they are thinking about. And then you collect 2,000 from that same woman. The whole world will hear. So sometimes I just feel maybe God should just decide and put whatever he puts in the hands of men. So that the men will continue to supply all their needs according to their riches in glory in Christ Jesus. This verse encourages mutual respect, support, and love in marriage, recognizing the wife's role in building a strong, healthy relationship. The primary role of a wife in the home is to be a galvanizer. He brings everybody together. What is the wife's primary role in the marriage? I can't hear you. To galvanize, to bring everybody together. The husband and the children. You know that it is a lot easier for the wife to divide the family than it is for the man to divide the family. A very good example is what happened in Isaac's family. And then what happens in Jacob's family. Now let us see how a good wife is a crown to her husband. Let us see the several ways that a good wife becomes what? A crown. How many of you have ever read the book of Proverbs chapter 31? It talks about virtuous wife. Is that correct? A virtuous woman. I like the place that the Bible says, when the husband sits in the village square with others, he is respected. Listen, there is no man that is respected by the wife that will not be respected by others. And there is no man that is disrespected by the wife that will be respected by others. Why? Because once the wife begins to disrespect the husband, one of the things she is very likely to do is that she will tell other people. Women, lift up your eyes and look at me and hear what I'm saying. I said one of the things she's likely to do is that she will do what? She will tell other people. One, she will tell her friends. My husband, they buy food. My husband, they pay house rent. Even children's school fee, it is me. And when you finish telling your friends, let us assume you are busy saying that to your friends. All of a sudden, your husband passes by or walks in. Do you think they will greet him the way they should have greeted him? Why are you this quiet? I said, do you think they will greet that your husband the way they should have greeted him? For every report you give to your friends, you subtract the honor level of your husband. Oh, I'm confiding in you. Don't tell anybody. Oh. You keep reducing that your husband and reducing you reduce his marks and reduce his marks. And maybe this your friend you are telling about your husband is also married. Do you know sometimes I ask myself, how on earth would people in the market know what is happening in people's families where two people are? one person in that family must have told others, yes or no. I'm not saying that it is only the men who do, the women who do. Men do it too. Men do it. You'll be surprised to even hear the secrets of the things that are happening right inside the bedroom between a husband and a wife in the market square. And you wonder how it got there. Somebody must have told somebody. In this house, I'm the one that buys food. I'm the one that buys everything. Thank God that you even have to buy. Which one would you even prefer? That you don't have to buy and your husband doesn't have to buy. The other day I was teaching our children in the Bible college, our students in the Bible college. And I told them that for me, I prefer to get money on loan from my wife than to loan from my church members or even my friends. Because, listen, truth be told, a friend today will be an enemy tomorrow. Maybe you don't know. That person you call your friend today, something, just small thing now, pim, happens tomorrow. Every secret you told him, you will hear it at the market square. Every secret you told her, you hear it at the market square. How you used to go to their house to loan money, to collect money, to bake them, to collect food, to collect salt. They will tell everybody. So number one, a good wife is a crown to the husband by being supportive and an encouragement. The wife becomes an emotional supporter to the husband. Your husband doesn't have work now. Yes. Are you praying for him to have the work? Are you even encouraging him to brace up and stand up that things will be better? And you, the husband, if you don't have work, are you behaving with your wife in such a way that your wife has hope that when you now have work, everything will be all right? Listen, I keep telling people, in this church I've told you, in our family, there are no roles. There are no roles in our family that is specifically assigned to a particular person. Is it sweeping the floor, or making the bed, or pumping water, or tidying up the compound? It is anybody that is available that does it. Anybody. The one that is available, whether it is me or my wife or our children. Anybody where they house, now they do work where they for house. My advice will now be, if you're a husband, for example, and you don't have much to do to produce money, and your wife is doing something to produce money, you can be an encouragement to her by helping her do some household chores. You can help be an encouragement to her because she too will be your support system. She too will be an encouragement. And I believe that in a family, support and encouragement should be shared among those who live in that family. So I should be a support system to my wife. My wife should be what? A support system to me. If I travel, I expect my wife to call me. The same way she will expect me to call her and find out, how was your day? How did it go? I hope everything is all right. Offer that your husband some emotional support. Lift him up and encourage him to pursue his goals. Now listen to me. Some of you may never know. For the man, for the man. You remember I told us the other day about the man who came to work for us in our compound. That man worked until 8 p.m. What time? You been told me you can't touch. I don't touch quinoa. So I want him. And I said, the night has come. He said, no. That he has school tomorrow. What actually broke me down was that on the second day, he came with his son, 16-year-old boy. That young boy served him as a laborer, or a laborer. I don't even know what you call it. That boy carried blocks, mixed cement, brought him water. At the end of the day, when I calculated what both of them did that day, it was 22,000. They said I was going to pay them 22,000. So I now asked him, how much exactly are you looking for the school fees you were talking? He said 25,000. I said, so now you have 22,000. I said, that's why I had to walk up to this night. So the 22,000 is not even enough for the school fees. How about food? Yes, sir. When I get home, I will send 15,000 to go and pay tomorrow, and then we will manage the rest for food. That's a man for you. Sympathy welled up in me. I won't tell you what I did, but I felt the man that this man needed support, not only from home, but also from me. Because you know what? Heaven will always help those who. I told the man, okay, you are here. You will pay the school fees tomorrow, and you will also have something to eat. He said, thank you, sir. I pitied the man. Now, imagine if the man finishes that work by 8 p.m. and probably gets home, and the wife is waiting to attack him. And then the wife is waiting to compare him with other men. Your mates are working in the office. Your mates are driving cars. Your mates are did I marry you to suffer? Now I begin to know why many men will ask, what did you bring to the table? Me, I even get handwork. Hello. You are not talking again. The man now will tell me, I even get that work. I left this home from morning. I came back 8 p.m. and I brought over 20,000. You, what have you brought since morning? Is it only to bad mouth? Listen. Hello. I discovered that many people think that marriage is a delivery system for some people. You know what I mean by that? Some people feel once I get married, my problem will be. My husband. Please, if you are lucky, if you are fortunate, if the Lord helps you, and your husband is doing everything possible to put food on the table for that family, honor him. It's not easy. Do you know why? Because you don't know what on earth is waiting for the man in the world to attack him. Some of you don't know how many insults some men take out there just to make sure that he brings food to the house. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know how many men tell fellow men, I beg, sir, or even women that they are working on there in the office? I beg, madam. And then after receiving all the attacks, all the insults, all the offense outside, he comes back home. Let me say, now kill you, won't kill him more. So a woman who will be a crown to the husband must give him support. And they must give him what? Encouragement. Oh, how was it today? Oh, things didn't go well. You know, one day, when I was living in Uweri, okay, I can't remember the street again, I've forgotten. But this street that as early as 5:30. Some people will go and stand there with their shovels, with their headbands, with their pails, with their trowels, with their work equipment. They will go and stand there, waiting for somebody to come and hire them. Some will stand there until evening, nobody will hire them. But at least the man has made an effort. Come on, am I talking to somebody here? And then probably he goes there, stands there till 3 p.m. Nobody hired him. 6. Here the man strolls back with shame, coming home. And you are now telling him, hey, where did you go to? Hey, yesterday we didn't eat in this house. And you, no, now. Bible says that 2 is better than 1. For when one falls, what will the other one do? The other one will lift him up. No matter what happens to that man, it is only temporary, it's not permanent. As much as you can, lift him up. As much as you can, encourage him. As much as you can, support him. Call him some good names, tease him, tell him don't worry, everything will be fine. Even if nobody else is with you, I am here with you. That alone will extend his life. That alone will encourage him to think right. That alone will help him to know, yes, somebody is concerned about me. So, the first thing a wife who is a crown to the husband does is to do what? Is to give him what? Support. And what? I'm not hearing you. Support and number 2. A wife be a crown to the husband would witness to his character. Her love and respect showcase his positive qualities, enhancing his reputation. Do you know that if you love your husband as a woman and respect him, even if he doesn't have money, are you still here? Nobody will know. Because of how you treat him, because of how you treat him. Listen to me. Everybody on the face of the earth has a bad day. The mere fact that this man does not have enough money at the moment is not the way, is not the reason why you should talk to him anyhow. It's not. Yes, I know for some people, they marry their husbands for money. So once that money is not there, the husband has lost respect. Listen, I don't know how many of you read this story recently. I think I read that story last week of a man who lost his job. Which country was that? The man lost his job. And then, as at the time the man lost his job, the mortgage, you know what is called mortgage? You know what is called mortgage? What we call house rent. But out there, you buy a house, and then they share the money into years and months that you have to pay. So the mortgage was not paid because the man did not have a job again. And the mortgage remains with interest. And now, the mortgage people, the company sacked him without any compensation. And the mortgage people were after his life. I'm sure the man found himself in a situation where the wife is not treating him well. Probably found himself in a situation where the wife is not encouraging him. You know what? The man woke up one day, killed the wife, killed the 5 children, and killed himself. The man entered into depression. I said he killed himself, killed the wife, killed the 5 children, and then killed himself as the last. Before anybody could say John Mark, 7 people don't go. Do you know there's a way a man feels when he knows that he has a wife who is standing behind him? still loving him, still appreciating him, still honoring him, despite what? I'm very sorry, but this is the truth. So many men has been made. I said, so many men has been made by their husbands to begin to think that their wives married them for money. Yes. So many men has been forced to think that their wives married them for money. Because of how they behave when they see that you don't have money. Now, have you discovered that for so many women, they can only smile when their husband has money? Once there is no money, they will only smile outside. They will only tease you when they know you have money. Once that money finishes, they say, once the man feels loved, once the man feels respected, his positive characters will always come out. Come on, am I saying something? You know, many years ago, while I was still meditating on this subject, I remember many years ago when I was teaching in this church, we used to have one of our pastors. He now lives in Benin City. So I think I was teaching on human relationship and all of that. And I said, look, it will be wrong for you to marry your husband every time your husband touches you. Either ukuluyak or iwuyak or whatever. And then my pastor lifted up his hand. Sa, 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 sa. He used to be a stammerer. How many of you remember that day? And we gave him the microphone. And he said, sa, sa. Oh my God. And I said, sir, madam, if everybody, every part of your body is aching you, is paining you, something is wrong with you. Don't make this man feel. Don't ever make your husband feel that you love him when he has money. In all you're doing, don't do that one. Do you know why? Because once he begins to feel like that, tendency is that when that money probably eventually comes by the grace of God, he will remember all the things you did. Honor him. Is it easy? No. But that's what the Bible expects us to do. Number 3. How does a good wife become a crown to her husband? Number 3. Partnership and teamwork. Somebody say partnership and teamwork. I can't hear you. Somebody say partnership and teamwork. Together, they build a strong, loving, and community reflecting positively on him. Oh, the man doesn't have money, but the wife is working. So she covers him. Make sure that he dresses well, he appears well, he behaves well. I don't know how many of you remember the story I told us in this church about a lady that we know. This lady got helper. She got an appointment and they pay her money. At least let me say they pay her good money. One day, she now called the husband. Baby, where you there? The baby said, oh, I'm so pleased. which he usually worked. So he now told the husband, I have dropped some money for you. You can use that and buy anything for yourself. How much? When money was money. So much money. Above 100,000, if not 200. So imagine your wife, you have an alert of how much? I'm not hearing you. And your wife said to you, baby, I just sent the 100,000, for example. Use that and buy anything for yourself. I actually came here tonight to help you to readjust your thinking. Now, do you know that there are some things you can do and make that your husband to live long for you? That is how the husband abandoned everything he was doing for the day and returned home. And waited to celebrate this woman. I've told you in this church, there's nothing wrong for a wife to buy a gift for the husband. There's nothing wrong for the wife to take the husband out. There's nothing wrong for the wife to give money to the husband. I don't want to talk about the husband because these are things that men have been doing over the time. Partnership and teamwork. Don't ever let that man feel abandoned or rejected or despised or even humiliated. Do you know what? Let me tell you the gospel truth. Today, things may not be working for him, but tomorrow, all things will work for him. He might be broke today and become a multi-millionaire tomorrow. That's how life is. So. Praise the Lord. You know, in these days of AI, there are so many AI videos that you can use to teach yourself big lessons. You see a lady who feels that just because you are the one providing for the family, your husband should become the house help. Did I say the man should not help you? No. But don't let it look like it is an obligation. In fact, I discovered that for some people, when the husband doesn't have money, they want to exchange position. Now I'm the husband, and you are the wife. Since you are not bringing the money, be the wife. And then you come and say, did you cook? What did you cook? In fact, praise the Lord, I saw one AI video of a lady who came back from work and was asking the husband, why are you sitting down here watching television? Madam, what did you cook? Didn't you see? I said, oh. It happened the first day, happened the second day. I think the third day, the mother-in-law came. That's the mother to the boy came. And the wife has been doing this thing. So the mother to the boy could not hold. So the mother was very angry. I don't even know what the woman said. So the guy decided to vamoose the following day. When the guy packed and was about to leave, the lady was very happy. That's one burden removed from me. How can I be feeding? She went to the office and was telling her friends, mocking the husband. But one thing she did not know is that attitude, the beginning of a turning around for the young man. That's how the young man left the house that day. And I think he went out to squat with a friend. So that friend of his now connected him with another friend of theirs that they were in secondary school together. And in no time, it wasn't up to 1 month, the guy got a job. You know, that kind of job, 7 digits job. And you know, men, the guy don't blow now. His beers are on. The cheeks are coming out. He's now dressed on jeans. And then one day, by this time, the lady doesn't even know he has blocked the guy. In fact, in her mind, the guy don't die. And they already had 2 children. 6 months after, the guy came for his children. And he saw the car this guy drove. You know that kind of thing? She started begging, but this time, the begging could not solve the problem. I mean, the way I saw it, I couldn't even. The lady will go out anyhow, comes back anyhow. No respect to the husband. She's now feeling on top of the world. And then the last one, she will become a woman of virtue. What kind of woman? I can't hear you. Her character, her kindness, and integrity bring honor to her husband and family. Sir, do you know, once the man feels protected and covered, there's nothing he will never do to you as a woman. Only a foolish man will walk away from that protection and security and begin to misbehave. Oh, do we have some with poor decisions? Yes, but not all. Her character, her kindness, her love, and integrity will bring honor to her husband. You know, today we live in a world that if a man doesn't have money, the wife is ready to do anything. Is that correct? She can do anything that will humiliate the man. She can abandon. Today, the other day I was sitting somewhere and I heard stories about how many men have been abandoned by women who used to eat that man's money. I mean a wife. When this man was walking, you call him honey. You call him all manners of sweet names. Now the money is no longer coming as it used to. Now you are feeling he's a nobody. Now let's also look at the impact, the shameful impact of a bad wife, which looks like cancer in the life of the man. A shameful wife can impact her husband like cancer. Number one, erosion of self-worth. Constant criticism, disrespect can slowly break down his confidence and water down his self-worth and self-esteem. Sir, when that man is not as productive as he should, and he is making effort, I repeat, and he is making effort towards making his life. I'm talking about men who are making effort. So, are you still here? Are you still here? Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about those who are lazy, those who don't want to. I mean, men, they are not working now. Things are not working for him, but they are making effort. That is not the time to criticize him. Did you hear what I said? That's not the time to complain about every little thing he does or what he doesn't do. That's not the time to disrespect him. Now, by the way, let me say this. Praise the Lord. Are you still with me? Once things are not working for the man, whatever you do to him, he interprets it with the sense that it is because I'm not having money. It is because I'm not productive. It is because even if you make mistake, that's when you should be very, very what? Careful. More careful. Because everything you say will be interpreted on the basis of the challenge he's having now. He will see every action of yours, every speech of yours, every statement of yours, every inaction of yours with that eye. So let's take, for example, you went out, you come back late, and you say, baby, why did you come back late? In fact, you don't wait for him to ask you why you came back late. From the door, apologize. You are not hearing what I just said. I said from the door, do what? In fact, from the door, explain. Oh, honey, how was your day? I'm very sorry. Oh, my car broke down. Oh, this is what happened. I'm very, very sorry. In fact, before you even come home, call. You are not hearing what I said. Don't say, I'm you good. From the way, call. And you too, call. Build yourself up. Don't let him begin to look down upon himself. Because, see, once a man is depressed or cast down, it becomes very difficult for him to lift himself up. Is that correct? That's why you begin to see other men of his age. They are doing well, they are dressing well, they are talking well, they are packaging themselves well, and you now begin to compare him. Hello? Lift up your eyes and look at me. Can I talk to you? Are you still here? How many in a community called marriage, whatever one person does in that marriage, he does it for the other? For example, if your husband is working very hard, he is working hard for you and for every member of that family. If your husband is dressing well, he is dressing well for the wife and for every member of the family. If the wife is dressing well, she is also dressing well for who? For the husband and for the children. But if your marriage comes to a point where your husband can dress anyhow without minding how you feel. In fact, it was Chris Oria Kilome who was teaching something many years ago. He said that there are some women, they have so bastardized their husband that their husband now become blind. So me, I was waiting. What does it mean? He said that is how you will dress. Your husband will not see. You finish doing your hair, your husband doesn't even see. You cook food and bring, your husband doesn't even remember because of the treatment you have given to him. So now, he's trying to avoid further what? Further maltreatment, further insult. And then he comes to a point that he is no longer complaining. Listen to me, married people in this house. Once that marriage comes to a point that no matter what you do, your husband doesn't talk, know that that marriage don't finish. That is, he has left you